Good morning. Today is Friday, January 12th, 2024. Many years ago, I was in the Yale University Library, and I came across a bound copy of a doctoral dissertation. I don't remember the name of the author. I don't remember the exact title. But it was a comparative study of hand gestures. So first of all, I'm only going to be discussing polite hand gestures today. Hand gestures used by Jewish people and Italian people. You may have heard the old in poor taste joke. How do you stop a Jew or an Italian from talking? Well, you tie their hands behind their back. Because Jews and Italians and others, it's a generalization, we talk with our hands. But this study had a thesis. And the thesis was that Italian hand gestures were usually movements between two people, going forward and backward in some manner. While that was Italian hand gestures. While Jewish hand gestures were usually movements that went sideways and outward. And there was this characteristic difference in the direction of the different hand gestures between these two groups. And the author sought to derive some general conclusions. I confess I don't remember these conclusions, but some general conclusions about the differences between Jews and Italians, between Jewish society and Italian society, that would account for these characteristic differences in the direction of their hand gestures. Okay, that was a long time ago. But I remembered all that when I read this week an article by Mark Rotel about Tommy DeVito and his now famous hand gesture. So Tommy DeVito is a third-string quarterback for the New York Giants football team. And in November, he threw one of his first pro football touchdown passes. And it was a big deal. And when he did that, he raised his right hand and he made this gesture with his thumb and his fingers together. He made this gesture, which roughly means, what do you want? And people noticed that. It was highlighted on sports broadcasts, and it was noted in sports newspaper articles. There was an endless number of TikTok videos of Tommy DeVito doing this gesture. And DeVito explained that the gesture came naturally to him. And he cited old Italians who, when they talk, they start doing this. So it's just a little credit to them. Okay. And many of his fans were proud to see an Italian boy raised in New Jersey who was taking center stage and proud of his heritage, of his Italian heritage. And Mark Rotel writes that in DeVito's hands, literally in his hands, this gesture became something joyous, a sign that Italian culture is alive and thriving, even in the most unlikely of places like the NFL end zone. Okay, so when I read that article about Tommy DeVito, first I thought about the doctoral dissertation from all those years ago, and then I thought, wait a minute. We do that. That's our gesture, especially in Israel. and it means something different. In Israel, when you do this, in Israel, it's the universal gesture for rega, wait a minute, hold on, don't be so impatient. Don't get so nervous. Tain li ligmar, let me finish, give me a moment. It's the universal gesture, everyone knows it. Now, if I could remember who wrote that doctoral dissertation all those years ago, I would like them to add a new chapter to their work that covers identical hand gestures of Jews and Italians, but that have different meanings. And this would be a great example where we're both doing the same gesture, but we mean different things by it. The Torah tells us in Bereshis that God punished the people who built the Migdal Bavel, the Tower of Babel, by dispersing them and giving them different languages so they would not plot with each other against God. Clearly, God's plan went beyond language to also create confusion between hand gestures, where different groups are using the same gesture but to mean different things. But I would like to suggest that at least here we can start back toward unity. With all the similarities between Jewish and Italian cultures and the close relations between many Jews and Italians here and in many other places, we should do more to understand and share each other's hand gestures in order to create even more understanding and goodwill. So in that spirit, I want to wish every one of you Shabbat Shalom. Have a great Shabbos and a wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you soon in person.